and welcome to another episode from the Pink Seats Podcast, the internet's first, best, and only podcast dedicated exclusively to covering the University of Louisville football program here on the State of Louisville Podcast Network. For those of you joining us on Twitter, make sure you hit those subscribe buttons at all the State of Louisville and from the Pink Seats affiliated accounts at the State of Lou, at Pink Seats Pod, at producer_Keith, at Vincent Lococo, at Jacob, or is it Jacob_Lane?
_Lane 08.
Jacob_Lane 08. He doesn't have his ad on the doc. That's just how benevolent he is. I want to give a huge shout out to our wonderful friends over at Kern's Korner for setting us up in the beautiful digital Kern's Korner studio where all of our microphones work. We heard you on the last episode, had some issues with the remote setup. Apparently Vince's and I's mics disconnected and Jacob's was the only one running. So,
that's like best case scenario for our show though. If anybody's mics are going to be out, it should be you and I, because we will eventually get loud enough to where we don't really need a microphone.
Yeah. So to hop back, though, if you're watching us on Twitter, be sure to head on over to the YouTube channel as well and hop on in to the Pink Seats Party Deck, aka the YouTube chat, during these live shows, so you can hop on in and join the conversation with us as well. And Vince, yesterday was National Signing Day, a day that, some people think is lowering in significance and devaluing. I still get excited for it, damn it. And tonight we just wanted to talk about and celebrate some of the young men who are going forth and put pen to paper to commit to be the next and newest batch of Louisville Cardinals. And that's always something I'm going to be happy for. So, Vince,
hold on, before we get going, how happy are you to just see a big bunch of high school recruits? That's got to get you fired up.
I'm happy that we've seen an increase. I don't know if I'd call just 20 or 19 a big bunch.
Hey, for my college football dynasty, that is a huge recruiting class.
Now, granted, different league. I played NAIA ball. I came in with 75 freshmen.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah, but
I was going to ask, what was your signing day like, Vince? Did you have one, or was it just gonna go here?
Since I was a preferred walk-on, Trinity hosted like a signing day. I was actually on senior retreat for National Signing Day, so everybody and Trinity doesn't do like that you're not allowed to graduate early or anything like that. So everybody, all my football friends, we were all on like a senior retreat, and we all did the second signing day thing. And for me, it didn't. I was signing a piece of paper that you could have typed up on Word, and, So it was cool. It was a symbolic thing just to do it with all your teammates and be recognized for the hard work and stuff. It's a fun time though. You just are excited with all the possibilities and the things. You're excited to go to a new venue, and people are loving on you and everything because you have done no wrong. And it's a good time.
Yeah.
What about you? Did you have a signing day for Georgetown?
So my high school did, because very small high school, we did not have very many kids go on to perform athletics in college outside of, there was like a 3-year window, like the year before me and the year after me, where we had like 8 kids from our school end up going to play college sports, and none of them were Division I offers. That didn't come until I think like 4 or 5 years after I graduated. We had a kid who like won Mr. Kentucky in basketball, and I think he ended up signing with either Western or Northern. I can't remember. But yeah, they had a little thing in our auditorium, had like one of my friends who had signed and was running track and field at Cumberland's. I was going to Georgetown for both. So it was a fun little time. And I appreciate signing day just because that's the day, and it's changed a lot where these high school kids are getting made to feel special all the time now. That was the day to feel special back in my day.
My favorite signing day story of all time is the guy that faked his offers and signed with Cal, and then Cal sent the email like, "We have no idea who this guy is. Please tell me you've seen that story."
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, and there was another guy who just made stuff up and constantly spammed the page. And I think he tricked like a D2 school into actually giving him an offer. So when he got there, he fucking sucked. And they're like, what the hell is this?
So when I was working at Louisville in the recruiting department, that all that stuff is obviously in my bio and everything, and my DMs were open. Just anybody could have DM'd me, and I mean the DMs I would get from some of the high school recruits, because like you got to think the type of kids that are going to be DMing me to try and get on Louisville's team. They're not going to be, your 4 stars, your 5 stars, because they don't have to DM a GA to get that recognition. And I remember one kid said like #1 tackle in Mississippi. And I looked, I'm like, let me see where this kid is. And sure enough, I spent like 20 minutes scrolling through the Mississippi State like rankings and could never find this kid.
Damn. Hey, his mama said he's #1. That's what matters.
Yep, that's all that matters.
So, like I had mentioned, 19 signees brought in yesterday. We had a couple of flips. One who completed his 4th flip of the recruiting cycle. So not necessarily a surprise there. And then another one who, it was sort of a weird item. So we actually completed a flip. We had Benjamin Corhay, interior O-lineman, believed to probably play center or guard, out of Valdosta, Georgia, who had committed to us, flipped to USF. Well, Alex Golesh left and took another job. So rather than try to follow Golesh and get an offer, he decided to flip back to Louisville. And that sort of caused us to have now we got an extra guy. So we kind of had to pivot. So that lineman found a home and signed with Georgia Tech. So we weren't leaving a kid in the cold, thankfully, but it is what it is. So Vince, I'm not going to go through and I'm not going to read the full signing list. Who are some of the favorite snags off this board for you, Vince?
Ooh, easy cop out for Briggs Cherry. So I'll go ahead and knock that one off the board for us, or for myself at least. Kid has a phenomenal arm. Just watching his highlights is a true treat. Moves around in the pocket very well for his age. Keeps his eyes downfield, which is another thing that is not, usually high school ball, kid gets pressure, he's probably going to look to take off and run. But I mean, Briggs keeps his eyes downfield. He's got a cannon of an arm. Good kid, as we talked to on the show at that one time. I am really excited for. Is it officially leaky? Did Jeff?
I don't know. Jeff seems to think it's leaky. So
hey, I'm going with Coach Brohm on that one. Leaky Tompkins. I am fired up about that kid offensively, bro.
That kid is so fun to watch, man.
You turn his highlight tape on, and that's a kid where you watch 1-2 clips, and in this instance, Brian Brown, when I was working with him, I'd be running the video, and there'd be a kid that's as good as Leaky Thompson, and he watches 2 plays, and he's like, all right, offer, and we move on. Like, that's how good this kid is in my eyes. Like, he is very, very good. And obviously, Jaden Broadnax, I mean, the kid is a stud of a player. Would love for him to play with a little bit lower pad level at the position, but I mean, that's what you get with high school kids. A lot of times they're so athletic that they're so much more athletic than the guy they're going against that they can kind of play with high pad level, and it looks cool. They see all the NFL guys walking around back there, and that's the cool thing, to not get in a stance. But for me, Jaden, the way he high points a football is exceptional. The way his hips flip is exceptional. So this kid is going to be a stud for us. He's 6'3", 190. Yeah, Keith, are we on CJ Avery watch moving down?
I don't think we move him. I think he already has NFL measurables at corner. We're going into a age of college football where more and more talent's getting spread wider and wider. So you're going to run into those big physical freak wide receivers more often in more games. Like, this is a kid I think could
Is he
potentially...
playing corner or safety?
I think he's playing corner for us.
They had him at ESPN listed as a safety, so that's what I had him written down as. But
247 has him listed as corner. So
all his highlights were at corner, or all the majority of the highlights were. He had a couple good ones with the hip flips, like I was talking about at safety, that really made my eyes pop because, I mean, it was like playing center field for him back there.
Yeah, the kid, like, he is a ball hawk, and he's a kid who I would not be shocked if he's getting reps as a true freshman and not just like against the Ass State and Ass Tech games, like meaningful, solid reps as a true freshman. This kid's special. Like, I am very excited about this kid.
I agree. I guess I say quote unquote project guys. I mean, they're all stud high school football players coming out, but I mean, my mom would kill me if I didn't mention the one Campbellsville, Kentucky signee we have. I mean, Brighton Close, obviously freshman offensive lineman outside of Mekhi Becton very rarely come in and play their freshman year. So that's kind of why I say project. For me, that's stuff that gets me excited. I do too. But being born in Campbellsville and having the first 2 years of my life in Taylor County, I know that town is definitely excited to have one going to play Division I college football.
Yeah, and he's got a younger brother coming up too. I think he's either a 26 or a 27 kid who damn near as big as he is. But that's just, again, when you get these rural community kids, like a lot of times it's like, okay, techniques needs to be refined because they haven't been getting high end. Like, this kid's really good. I don't know what his weight room numbers are, but coming out of Campbellsville, you just assume the kid's going to be tough, like the stereotypical farm boy strong. But the kid plays with an edge and a mean streak on the offensive line that has really been lacking in years past. Like, you look at some of the recruits and they don't have that nastiness to them. Like, I want more Carter Gilliams on this team, guys who play and strive to be a menace to society between the whistles. That's a kid that's easy to get excited about. So for me,
go ahead.
You mentioned Broadnax. So that was, at least on field, the kid I was most excited about. Personality wise, we had him on the pod. Brady Ballard, man, I love that kid. That kid's got a career in media if he wants it. Really charismatic dude, goes out and you talk about like kids not fully investing in a culture of a program, like how it's so almost mercenary style nowadays. This kid has completely just chugged the bowl of Louisville Kool-Aid from the day he committed. And we talked to him about it. From the minute he said he was coming to Louisville, he's retweeting every single thing that's Louisville popping up. He's putting Louisville burner accounts to shame with the amount of work he's doing. So if this kid can develop and become a regular player 3, 4, 5 years down the way, he's a kid who could easily become a fan favorite. On field, if you already took Broadnax, I will go with the other 4-star we haven't mentioned yet, Julius Miles. 4-star listed as a wide receiver, but I believe we're intending to use him as a tight end. Kid's coming out of Florida. The kid is a like Jaleel Skinner build, but sort of with like the Wes Bailey stature, if that makes sense. Like, he's 6'5", 200, but he's wide, man. That's a big boy.
So what I found interesting about this kid is whenever you go to look at his huddle, majority of the highlights are basketball highlights. Like the first like 6 clips are right, man. And I'm sitting here, he's listed on ESPN. ESPN has him as 6'5", 210. Let's get that to 6'5", 255 and be comfortable putting your hand in the dirt, and we could have a first-round tight end. Yeah. That kid is like that good, Keith, with his route running ability. If he can buy in to having a hand in the dirt, to gaining the weight, He's probably going to hate gaining the weight at first because all the skinny guys hate gaining the weight. But trust
Yep.
me, it's a lot more fun moving people around. You know that, Keith. It's a lot more fun being the bigger guy.
Oh, for sure. And it's sort of that unique spot where I assume that a position and a plan has been laid out to him in his recruitment, whether it's to be a tight end or whether it's to bump him out to wide receiver and just let him thrive and be a weapon out there. Either way, this kid can be successful. Like, he's a kid who can just go up and get the damn ball, and he's also a kid. He's got wiggle to him. That's how I describe it. Like, he's got wiggle. He can get a defensive back to turn their hips or get them off platform, and then immediately take an advantage and beat them to get open.
Yep.
Like, this kid's a stud.
The basketball playing is going to be huge for him when it comes to high pointing of football. It's going to be huge.
For sure. So out of these guys, we talked a little bit about like some of the ones that we're most excited about. I talked a little bit about how I think Broadnax could come in and be a regular contributor right away on day one. Who are a couple of other guys you think that could potentially see the field as early as next season?
I 100% expect Briggs Cherry to come in and push for the starting quarterback job next year.
Really?
I 100%. I mean, he has all the size and ability to come in and be that dude. He needs to learn the playbook.
That's a big if right there because it's a complicated playbook.
It's a very complicated playbook, and Jeff is it's gonna be tough for him to play. I'm not saying the kid starts week one or anything, but I fully expect to be reading fall camp articles about how he's pushing. He's looking really good, things like that. Bunch of whispers. But in a more realistic sense, Tompkins, Leaky, I think is going to play immediately. Maybe not immediately right off the bat, be your day one starter. Obviously, Kiwan coming back, the two guys that went off in the UK game. But I think Tompkins has the it factor right now. And Julius Miles, like you mentioned, if he can come in and get up to about 235-ish that first year, sitting about probably 205 right now because it's 210 listed on ESPN. So, it's probably about 10 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I also, even if he doesn't put on a huge amount of weight, like, he's a kid who's athletic enough. You can just put him out in the slot and just make things happen with him. So, I mean, those three are the big ones. One that I was kind of curious about, and he's a kid we recently flipped from Michigan State, Jordan Van, 3-star, listed as a safety out of Ohio, 6 foot, listed 6 foot, $195. I think he's a kid who could play star here. The kid has unreal acceleration. He's a kid who I could see on special teams year one, not just as like a gunner, but also potentially as a kick returner. I think he has multiple kick return touchdowns last season playing high-level Ohio high school football. Like, obviously depends on how the portal shakes out. We're losing our top kick returners with Lacey, and I believe Golden's also out of eligibility. So Kaufman and Harris got some looks last year. I know the one practice you were, I think both of them dealt with a couple of muffs and a couple of firm posterior chewings. Like, if Van can come in and demonstrate that he can be a good kick returner day one, I would not be shocked to see him earn a role there rather than us go out and try to get an extra body who just so happens to be able to return kicks. And then one that was kind of fascinating to me, and it's kind of a cheap answer because Jeff was asked, and it was about a local recruitment, Marlon Harbin, athlete out of St. X, who plays wideout, running back, and DB. I believe he's going to come in and play wideout here. But in the signing day presser, Jeff was giving a glowing review of him, talking about like if he could learn the playbook, he thinks he's a kid who's already ready to play. And I feel like that's true for all three of our main wide receiver recruits.
Yeah.
because you have Peyton Cook, who out of Akron playing high-level ball up there, and then you have Gavin Waddell out of North Carolina. I believe he set his school receptions and receiving yards record. They just force-fed him the ball down there. Given the current depth and current state of our receivers room, any one of those guys could jump up and see regular playing time as a true freshman. So obviously a lot has to play.
If I'm any of those three kids, I am with my facts. They used to fax the NILs back in the NSDs, but however they get it to them now, I would have faxed and at the very bottom said, please also email playbook, so I can begin learning that as quickly as possible. Because you're completely right, Keith. With the state of what our wide receiver room's looking like, and depending on, I assume that's where you're going, depending on what we pick up in the portal at the wide receiver room, it's anybody's game at that spot. All three of them. So, and especially with the early graduation, that's a factor now where kids can get on campus and actually participate in spring ball. You have an opportunity to get out there, make an impact, and show up and earn a place on the depth chart early. So before we wrap up the episode, what do you want to see moving forward and into the future? I know we recently in the news, we'll just say, Jeff Brohm had informally shut down any sort of rumblings of going to Penn State, advised that he was going to be staying here. I believe we saw Pete Nakas. I know, Vince, you were incredibly shocked by the news. And then in a article put out by Jody Demling, one of the interesting quotes was that NIL was going to be, he said, funded to a national championship level. I am highly skeptical of that, just because I don't think they know how much money is national championship level at this point. Like Ohio State, I would not be shocked if they are giving 80% of future rev share, so 18 million, and having boosters throw another 20 to 22 million at the roster in the rev share era. I don't think we're throwing $40 million at football annually. But let's say it is an increase, a substantial increase in funding. What would you like to see from the high school recruiting efforts in the future? So we've got Big Dog on staff now, right? And he is big in the Ohio realm of recruiting. Two areas that I want to hit in Ohio specific with Big Dog is offensive line and tight end, man. Some of the best offensive linemen and tight ends I ever played against in high school came out of the state of Ohio, specifically Archbishop Moeller. Has phenomenal sized athletes at all times. I want to get some more of the offensive linemen that can come in and push to play in year one, that are big enough, don't have the baby fat or have very little baby fat that we have to trim off, and are ready to rock and roll week one, so that we don't have to sit there and worry and wonder what's the rotation going to be. Are we going to have to get one in the portal and this, that, the other? So for me, I just want to hammer the right areas like Ohio, Iowa, that stuff for your offensive like
north of the Ohio River.
Yeah, some big, nasty, mean mug looking offensive linemen. So that's, and obviously I want us to see continued quarterback recruiting improvement. Jeff is known as this quarterback guru of a coach. Briggs, obviously Elite 11 quarterback. Can we continue to build on that recruiting?
Yeah, and we already have a phenomenal quarterback locked down for or currently committed. Can't really say locked down now until they actually sign the paper. Jack Sorgi, NFL pedigree, plays competitive ball out in Indianapolis. Kids looked phenomenal. I believe he was rated as a 4-star quarterback in the initial 2027 class ratings by 247. Now, just to go on to your point, I was trying to do a count while attentively listening. 1, 2, 8, 9. So 9 of our 19 commits are from Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana. I would like that number to stay the same, but I want it to be a lower percentage. Like, essentially, I want more. I want more high schoolers because I have gotten to the point where I trust this staff's talent evaluation on a lot of high school recruits coming in. Now, whether it's a matter of developing, who knows? But I find myself watching the tape and liking a lot of guys the group signs. 20, with how you have managed the team in the first 3 years here, that's not enough to build developmental depth. So unless you're going to go full bore into, okay, we're just going to have a developmental year and play kids, you're always going to sort of be having to recruit 30, 40 guys in the portal. And that's just not sustainable. As we've seen, teams have done a better job identifying and retaining their own talent. So who knows? Maybe with all the coaching changes, this is going to be a really robust portal year and it'll be another boom year to try and build a team through the portal. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think with rev share, expectations on both sides of what a player should be earning are starting to become clearer, where it's going to be easier to pay guys you want to keep a fair price. So when you're shopping,
that's why I was laughing, man.
So when you're shopping in the portal, man, like when you go to like a Walmart, I think they still have them, those big old tubs of like DVDs where there's no effort into organization. It's just throwing a bunch of shit in there. It's $5. Reach in there and grab something and see what you like.
You've got like 150 V for Vendettas in there and like all the Mission Impossibles and yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to think of just the worst movie you've ever seen.
Well, it's all like the good ones from like 2010, like 2000 to 2010.
Yes. Well, I guess for the sake of this example, it's like you have originally in the portal, it was probably like a 1 in 3, 1 in 4 chance just nabbing a hit, something you'd absolutely love. They're getting a lot more picky with who lets go in that bin nowadays. So now you're looking at like a 1 in 10, 1 in 15 chance of grabbing a secret stud out of the movie barrel. So I would love more developmental depth. And while I do like the kids we've signed, we're still I think it's 47th overall rated recruiting class in the country. Now, granted, only 9 commits. Some of those are going to be quantity over quality. But even when it comes to average recruit rating, we're still, I believe, 40th in the country when it comes to just average player rating. And there's some gamesmanship involved. We know when kids commit to certain programs, they get puffed up a little bit. But the ACC is doing nothing but getting a lot better. We got to get better too. And I think with the increased allocation or increased commitment to recruiting resources, I will say, we need to see the high school recruiting improve with that too. I'm not expecting.
If we're gonna hear people promise, you hear comments like that Mr. Hurd is promising money to win a national championship.
Yep.
Then I expect to see it.
Yeah, if you're gonna say national championship level recruiting, then guess what? We got to start working our way towards hitting that blue chip ratio if we're gonna compete for a national title. So yeah. I'm not going to go into it expecting national championship level recruiting, but the ACC is getting a hell of a lot better, and it's going to be a hell of a lot harder to win the ACC without a top 30, top 25, top 20 recruiting class.
Yep.
Because SMU, they got money. Virginia Tech, they have clearly demonstrated they are not fucking around. They're here to play. Miami, again, phenomenal job recruiting. They come out of this with another top 10 recruiting class. Florida State, they're not going to be down forever. They're going to come back. Clemson, they're not going to be down forever because this is all they have. You've got to make the investment to compete in this league because everyone's seen it. Like, the league's there for the taking. and everyone is starting to put money in to try and make that next step as a program. In Louisville, you've done a phenomenal job being like a top quarter, top third of the league team, 2 out of the 3 Jeff Brohm years. What are you going to do to stay there? So I think high school recruiting has to take another step to the next level to get there. And, I think this class is a phenomenal first step towards that, but that's what it needs to be, a first step. So that said, really excited about the kids we got. I'm really excited about what's to come. I mean, I am looking forward to throwing those tweets out. Everyone, be cool about this. Briggs Cherry's getting reps, and just watching Twitter freak out because the
you're gonna go crazy whenever Brady Ballard gets in and
Brady Ballard, Trent Carter, Bash Brothers in the middle would feed families.
Feed that to me all day, man. I need that, Keith. I need that.
So, regardless, super excited for the 19 young men who have signed and committed to be Louisville Cardinals. If you're watching this video after the live showing, hop into those comments. Tell us who are the recruits you're most excited about. I'm looking forward to seeing so many cherry emojis in the replies. If you're watching us on Twitter, don't forget to hit that subscribe button over to the State of Louisville Twitter account. And don't forget to hop on over to the State of Louisville YouTube page. Hit the subscribe button there as well. I want to give a huge shout out to the Pink Seats Party Deck, Rev 41 hopping in there. And you know what? He's right there with me. Top 40 recruited classes ain't going to cut it in the future. So, hey, looking forward to making the next step. Tell us who your favorite commits in this class are going to be and what you're most excited about. Hop into the comments, leave them down there. It's going to be a long off season, so we've got a lot to get excited about. I want to give a huge thanks again to our friends over at Kern's Korner, sponsoring the podcast as long as they have in the digital studio. And then, is this still going on? Holiday Hustle. You still got 2 days left. Head on over to Burn Boot Camp to hop into the Holiday Hustle. December 1st through December 6th, Burn Boot Camp, Holiday Hustle Week. Get in there for a week of free camps. You've got a couple days left. Don't forget to hop in there. Shout out to our friends over at Burn Boot Camp. Shout out to our friends over at Surfside. And shout out to all of you tuning in to another episode of From the Pink Seats podcast. That's Vince Lococo. I'm producer Keith. We will be back soon. And as always, go Cards!